Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Pit Against, a live Flesh and Blood college show. I'm joined by my constant co-host Kevin, Smurf, Murphy. Kevin, what's up?
We have world premiere starting in 39 minutes. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Pit Against is a live call-in show. If you'd like to be on air talking to us about your take, join the Pit Against Discord by clicking on the link that's in the description and that we have put in chat. Join the waiting room. We'll put your hot take in the topics channel. And if we like your take, we'll pull you on for a mic check and pull you on air. Taylor had an opinion on how we word things, and I forgot to put that into the intro, so I'm just not going to worry about it. But
yes.
I am going to write it down.
Yeah.
So that I edit it in later. But Kevin, I had my first initial question, just a quick little icebreaker, I guess, is I'm doing, let's say it's a month from now, I'm doing MST draft, and we're on pick, how many cards are in the pack?
14.
I'm on pick 14 of pack 1, and they passed me a red. Am I upset about that?
Is it in your class?
Let's say generic.
Probably not.
I guess the whole premise of this question is, is the blues matter just going to matter so much that you look at a red? You're going to look at actually, let's say it is a class card. Like it's a class talent card that you want, and it's in red, and you're like, dang, if only this was a blue. Am I going to be feeling that at times?
Probably not like that in pack 1.
In pack 1.
So we have kind of pack distributions, and for a lot of the commons and rares, it's a 40-20-40 split for red, yellow, blue.
Oh, okay.
So we are we're already in class cards and generics. We're already weighted away from yellows into reds and blues. All of the Mystic cards are blue. All of them. Yeah. So
all of them.
If you're getting past a Mystic card, it is blue.
Okay.
Like the quote unquote generic Mystic cards.
Yeah.
Are all blue, if I recall correctly. This means you're going to have more blues available to you than you would in previous sets. I wouldn't be surprised if people are running like 18 blues in their draft decks, or like 16 or 15 is like the floor for blues that you want in this set.
That's a lot.
It is.
Because especially I've done drafts where I'm like, 6 blues. Yeah, living on the edge.
Yeah.
Holy
That's not this set.
Not this set.
This set is going to be different, and they have set up the booster packs to reflect that. I think if you're getting a red pick 14, you're still going to be fine with it, because in reality, your pick 14s are going to be yellows, and those are the cards where you're like,
that's the card.
You're just a worse red. Okay.
Because you're definitely not a blue, right? So like in some sets, like even in last set heavy hitters, if you're going like brute, sometimes you're looking at the yellows and you're like,
that's a yellow agile windup. Yeah, that's dope.
That's dope. It's essentially a blue in some cases, right? Like that throws your
that throws claw.
Fangs. That throws claw. That throws bear fangs.
Throws bear fangs. Throws wild rag.
Yeah.
But like this is going to be closer to bright lights, where the last like 3 or 4 picks of every bright light were like all yellow, and you weren't excited about any of them. It's going to feel like that, but there's going to be less yellows.
Do you think something similar should have been done for Uprising?
I mean, it was to a degree. All the Draconic cards were red. I guess so, but like there was no yellow or blue Draconic cards.
Are they okay? I guess my question, or I guess maybe I misinterpreted your statement. So when you say it's 40-20-40, are they actually just putting less yellows in the packs, like intentionally, or is there just more printed red and blue cards?
They are intentionally putting less yellows in the packs. So if you open a box, you will get 2 reds to 1 yellow to 2 blues of the same generic common of Nimblism.
They didn't do that in Uprising, right?
I don't think so, at least to this degree. I did not open a ton of it. I know they did do this in bright lights for some things.
Oh, really? I didn't know
where they put like backup protocol had, I think it was like 5 to 3 to 3 for red, yellow, blue. That's because red backup protocol is just so much better than the other two.
Yeah.
So like I know that is something they have done in the past. It was not something I paid a ton of attention to in heavy hitters, but I know they shuffled it around a little bit where it was like 4-3-3 or something like that. I think this is the most drastic they've done. This I know of. But it is intentional, and it is because the way the format works, because you don't want those yellows. Like they're just, they don't do what your deck wants.
Yeah. Unless they block 3.
So
then that's almost what your deck wants.
Yeah. Block 3 is going to be a good floor.
Yeah. Your premium yellows block 3. There's some yellows that don't block. So I guess going back to the start of that statement is how necessary are blues in draft, right? I mean, I guess we talked about it a little bit, but it's like there are an amount of reds you definitely want in your deck.
Yeah. So like Assassin wants red attack reacts. They want red venom spite, red hiss, stuff like that. Their stealth cards, they don't care as much about what color they are. They want to be pitching at least one blue card and they probably want a blue plus to transcend if they can get it.
Yeah.
Holy crap, transcends are going to be an absolute premium. I think you only get 3 in draft.
Mouse was freaking out. Yeah.
But I think we're going to see decks consistently with 15 plus blues because they matter that much.
God dang.
Like they give you that much power.
I need to really dive into these cards and what the heroes want before pre-release because sealed is even more interesting, right? Because a lot of people will be going into sealed treating this like a normal draft and they'll be like 10 blues, 8. I'm playing a ninja, 8 blues. That's good, right?
This is going to be the most expressive format that I've played for sealed deck building.
I'm really interested in
this is
draft.
Fantastic.
I'm so excited.
Draft is going to be so weird. Okay. There is 1 transcend card per pack.
Is there like a transcend slot?
Yes.
Okay.
There are 24 packs at the table.
Yeah.
There are 24 total transcends.
You better get your transcends. People. You have to get your transcends.
Yes. Here's the thing. You're going to have 8 packs in sealed.
Dude, especially if you're like some heroes, I feel like new needs a transcend. Like she needs like 3 transcends.
Yes. So I will say I think
is like that's half her game plan almost, right?
Yes, but you don't need them until specific times.
I'm just saying, like, you don't want to be like pack 1, pick 1. I don't want one, and then pack 2, you take 1, and pack 3, you take 1, and then I guess like you're forcing your pack 1, pick 1s at that point because you just didn't get them or something like that, and you're just like, frick, I only got 2, which is maybe not where I want to be at. I don't know, like.
So I think Zen wants 4. I think New wants 3, and Enigma wants 2. Yeah. Zen wants to transcend as often as possible.
I guess he does, actually, yeah. I was just thinking how, like, maybe integral is not the right word, but it feels like it's such a huge part of New's draft identity is, like, late game transcending and then just playing their opponent's banished zone. And so it's really important you can't skip on them. And then Zen, yeah, you're right. You're kind of just like, ooh, there's another one. I'm going to take it. They didn't take it pack 1, so I get it pack 1, pick 2.
But, like, also, if you take a transcend, you're not locked into a hero.
True. You keep yourself wide open. I mean, there are some transcends that are better than others, but, like...
Yes. If someone doesn't take a transcend...
If you get the gain 1, life 1, that one's just...
If you get the go again 1...
Well, even go again is like... It's
no, the again one is crazy in draft.
It's really good. It also
it's crazy.
Is conditional, whereas gain 1 life is just like
so.
That's all you gotta do, right? You gotta play a blue card and gain 1 life.
Sure. So here's the thing with draft is you're playing all of those mystic attack actions that are, it's like the 0 for 2 +2 if you played a blue card.
Oh yeah.
Droplet.
Oh yeah.
All of those are insane with the go again one.
Title
Insane.
search.
Nuts.
3 for 7
Nutty.
blue, and then you
Yes.
can give it go again and just keep going.
And then
or
you
even the
transcend.
1-cost one, like Rising Tide, and then you can come in with the crouching staff.
Yeah. So if you're Zen and you go 3 for 7 pitching a blue, give it go again, transcend, pitch the chi to Zen, get a crouching tiger that goes for 0, and then 0 for 4.
That's really good.
You 3-card 11,
Holy frick.
which is really good in this format.
This format's going to be, at the higher levels of play, feels like very explosive.
Yes, absolutely. Like the PT decks will look crazy. And I'm not saying the Nats decks will. The Nats decks will not look crazy.
Yeah.
The Amsterdam decks will look busted.
They'll look constructed. They'll look.
Yes. Here's
so
the thing. So you're looking at this draft format and you're like, okay, you're going to get 3 transcend cards. You get 3 shots basically.
Yeah.
To get transcend cards. Sealed, you get 8.
Yeah. Do you just auto-lock Zen? Holy frick. Sealed, you get 8?
Honestly, if you're going to your pre-releases, you haven't played any of the other decks, play Zen, put 6 transcend cards in every red combo card you have, and just hit people. Because the way you actually do this is if you have that many transcends, you play one and you play a second one in response, so they both transcend.
That's insane.
So you just get both effects because they both see their blue, and you don't go down a card.
Whew. It's actually really exciting. That's crazy.
You know what's even crazier? They have team sealed at Nats.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh, I love that.
Guess how many packs your team gets?
A box?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
An entire box to make 3 card decks. And you have 24 transcends between you.
You can do whatever you want. This is going to be exciting. Plus,
That'd have been sick.
Plus, it sells packs, right? So, like, I'm all for selling packs that isn't just cracking them. Any way you can get people to play with more packs as opposed to cracking them.
Bright Lights, we got 8 packs for the entire team for 3 decks.
I think that's fine.
One of the teams that got top 8.
That it's like modal like this.
Yeah, like one of the teams that made top 8 at the 5K at the Realm Rumble last December was Peter Beden 16. What they did is they took all the good dash cards and they gave them to a dash player or a max player, or like all the good max cards. Like they made a cracked max deck and a cracked Teklo deck, and they gave Peter all the junk.
It said make it
so
worse.
He had 20 items.
That's actually great. You just win.
That does not happen in this sealed format.
No. That's funny though, because you win your other 2 matches because your decks are cracked, and then your last
you just 2-1 every round, and it's fine.
Holy frick!
Top 8'd.
All right, we're gonna change the subject. Tier list come out. Is Enigma broken?
No. Okay.
Real quick.
Nobody knows. Today is the first day that Talishar has all the cards programmed. Maybe. How do I know? I tried playing it last night. Not all the cards programmed, including the headpiece. Traverse is fucking crazy in that deck.
We just played a game. Well, one, I just tried to play a game as Blaze, not programmed, not even in the game. And 2, we played against an Enigma, but it's the second Enigma 2, and that wasn't programmed.
No, it was not.
The cloaked ability. No, I guess none of it was programmed yet because
all their equipment started face up. It was not cloaked.
So,
which that game also would have gone very differently if all that equipment is cloaked and they have to pitch a chi to flip it, because they get some Tide Maw to like 11 counters because they got to blow up all of their equipment for it as well.
So
like
crazy.
So like we don't know what's actually, if anyone says they know, they are kidding themselves. Enigma does look to be the strongest of the three at first glance, and that is because she's a raw numbers deck and she does numbers fairly well. Like one of her commons is like a 2-for-7 go again. It's really good. Another one is a 2-for-7 without go again. She has a lot of 2-card 8s. Like, she does some really good stuff, and she's really freaking obnoxious to hit and to kill, and that's because Ward is stopping all of the on hits. When you remove on hit value, a lot of decks suffer.
Yeah, true.
Like Guardian.
They're already suffering.
They're having a bad day. They're having a bad format, and it's not going to get any better.
So to shift a little bit, I think it's fine. Yeah, some people complaining about Guardian right now. It's fine, right? So Runeblade's been bad for like a minute now, right?
They're complaining that Guardian is too weak right now.
Yeah. You know, it
Yeah, no, your class being busted.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like, you know how there was a period of time where we had Briar and we had Chain, and Runeblade sat at the top of the throne. And for a while now, we've had, as Alice has talked about very early into the game's creation, like literally, I think when like Welcome to Wraith was coming out, they were having these like talks where they're like, you know, we want heroes and classes to come in and out of the meta. And a lot of people are like, I'm not going to get to play Runeblade. We find out now you can play Runeblade. You just have to play these Runeblades, and they're mid.
They're not as strong.
And that's where a Guardian's on there down, and I can still play it, and I can still lose, and then they'll come back up in, I don't know, 2 years at worst. Probably a year, honestly.
There will be a Guardian if Betsy doesn't get pushed by another card. If Guardian doesn't get a card that deals with prevention effects, they're going to have a bad time for a while until Prism and Enigma rotate out.
Honestly, if just one of them rotate out, then it's like, that's a much smaller portion of the pie, probably.
Yes. Because like a lot of the Prism players I think are going to jump for Enigma at first, because Prism's KO matchup is pretty rough and Enigma seems a little bit better. It's not great, but it is better. Because the Prism just has a rough time. She starts at 32, and Sash is a hell of a drug. But Guardian, if they don't get some love, will need another hero.
Yeah.
Even though Cast Holmes is a really good card.
Cast Holmes?
Yeah, the Visit Goldmane Estate.
Oh, yes. Cast Holmes. Is that the name?
Make a gold and 3 might tokens. Yeah, that's what we're calling it.
Holy frick. I need to get a spreadsheet for every time you tell me a card that I already know, but with a brand new name, uses maybe even more syllables than the Cast Holmes. No, it doesn't. But like,
nah.
Visit Cast Holmes. I don't know.
We have Cast Holmes, and we have B Strike in this set.
B Strike. Sure.
So
yeah,
Mara argues for Chi Strike. Blue Strike. Blue Strike is probably the better way to put it. But no, the Guardian will need some help, and that's fine that they are not like the top. They have been the top of the meta for at least 2 years.
And they were at the top of the meta when the game first came out. It was everyone was playing Bravo, and then people found out you could just go Tall Dorinthia, and so people were playing Tall Dorinthia until Dash came out, and then it was Dory Dash for a while. and then the Katsu. Anyways, history aside, Guardian had their rise, then they fell down, then they went back up again. We've already seen the wave happen. It's gonna happen again. I just need to chill the frick out. Plus, we got Rowdy Locals, which is definitely my favorite card in this set.
That's a dope card.
That card is awesome in so many ways. All right, okay, so getting off of that subject. But I guess in a similar subject, best deck is still KO.
Yeah.
Even now that we know Guardian being bad is bad for the game?
No. Not inherently.
I think we're
nothing about that statement in particular is going to make the game bad, because there are still defensive decks. There's all the Decimator Great Axe decks running around. If you want to play Guardian, you have Warrior right now.
And you can play Guardian. People do play Victor, and they get wins.
Victor was still second in PQs for the last week.
Victor's really good.
He's gonna have a hard time into Enigma for sure. He's gonna have a hard time into New.
Yeah, it's what all the big podcasts are saying is like he's like the noob smasher, right? Where he's like not doing.
He's a skill check.
Yeah, he's a skill check. He's not doing super hot against the best decks in the format, but you are gonna keep yourself out of the bottom tables by playing them.
You will reliably go X2 with Victor at PQs and RTNs.
Yeah. And I think that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Especially if you just like the class. Victor is an option. You can tech for your local meta.
He's totally viable. You can choose how much go again is in your deck, how defensive your deck is. I played Victors that have red unmovable in them, and I'm like,
bless.
I wouldn't do that, but okay.
Bless.
I still lost the game.
Yeah. Yep. So
you can play Guardian. Like, we thought Runeblade was just unplayable for the last 6 months. And then Pitfight just shows up, and Aggro Viscerai is still doing stuff.
Aggro Viscerai always did the numbers they could do. It's just the game needed to come down to him, and it kind of did, right? The meta needed to shift in the right direction,
100%.
And the game needed to come down to him, and it did. I'm interested in if Fi gets like a card or two, or if the meta shifts a certain way, Fi could be really disgusting.
Sure.
Yeah. So
if he gets Belittle back, he's a crazy deck.
Aggro decks are just kind of, it's not always the case, but they have a constant number, right? And so KO might be this, whereas Fi's right here. But if the game ever dips in and around here, then Fi just is the top dog. Which is kind of
there are decks, like there are two of the 3 points of the triangle. There's two that are stat checks.
Yeah.
And there's one that says, I'm going to deal this much damage. You must be able to deal with this amount of damage to ride this ride.
Yep.
There's one that says, I'm going to block this amount of damage every turn. You must be able to deal more than this to ride this ride. And then there's the third point, which doesn't care about numbers. And
which is interesting, and I love it. And this game is just anyways, so KO's still the best tech.
Yeah.
Nothing new about that.
Nope.
Yeah, so what was I saying? Kano's still the best deck.
Kano.
Yeah. I mean, he won both events in Warsaw. How much? This is the actual.
I don't think he won the Battle Harden.
Yeah, he won the Battle Harden. He got 140 points.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Is Kano an inevitability? And how long until he's LL'd? Actually, how much distance does he have before he LLs?
He has a little bit of runway, but not a ton. I'm pretty sure he's actually lower than KO.
I think he is. I think that's right. I don't think he actually had that many points, because there was so long that everyone was like, this is interesting, but it's not like doing anything yet. Kano. So he's at 341 this heavy season.
Mm-hmm.
So he has shot up to 523. He's more than halfway through.
Yeah.
And he is skyrocketing, right?
Yeah. Kano did win the Warsaw Battle Hardened.
Yeah.
He did it with yellow sync belows.
It's evil.
That makes me mad.
So like over 300 this heavy season. Kasai, Kano, Azalea, KO.
Yeah.
Those are the top dogs in CCLL points earning. So is Kano on his way out pretty quickly? Is he he's a serious deck to think about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a top deck.
Okay.
I guess the thing is, like, you hear Kano players talk about Kano, and in one breath they say this deck's just a dog to pretty much anything that wants to punch you, and then they'll turn right around and be like, actually, I just win every matchup if I just use my Giga Brain. So
both the Kanos that won Warsaw were on Giga Stacks.
Mm-hmm.
They were on the Sinks and the Fate for Scenes and Oasis for Spites. This is a very good style of deck to play into Guardian and Warrior, and probably Rhinar as well. Rhinar not so much. Intimidate is very good against you.
Yeah.
But I think I know that Majin and his group have dropped down a little bit on Gigastack Kano because they tested against KOs who learned how to play that matchup and figured out how to beat it. Kano is a deck where if you don't respect it, it will kill you. Just outright. That's what it does. Yeah. It's a combo deck.
Yeah.
Like that's the way combo decks have worked in
you have
every game is my understanding. It's like if you don't have the card for it, they're gonna get you. It's a real deck. You should respect it. This isn't any different from the beginning of the season.
So
I got to disrespect it because I played Prism the entire PQ season. Like even then I didn't disrespect it. I took AB2.
So if you have a local Kano, you probably know which way they're slanted into, like, first cycle or
tempo versus
yeah. And so, but if I'm going to a random event and someone's playing Kano, should I just prep as if they're Giga stacking? Is that how you just play it? You pretend they're playing that version of the deck?
So your Oasis for Spites and stuff like that will will be in either way. I'm pretty sure your sideboard is the same either way. It changes the way you play the game.
Yeah.
It changes the choices you make.
Okay.
Because your goal becomes deal 30 damage.
Yes. As always.
It doesn't matter how much damage they deal to you in like chip damage.
Because they're stacked.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yes. If they're Giga stacking.
Yes.
So there's a sure sign that they're Giga stacking, and that's balance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense, actually.
If they have Balance of Justice, they are Giga stacking you.
Makes sense.
If they have Rags, and you don't see a D react in the first, if they're like trying to chip you down, or you don't see a D react, they're on tempo first. Play accordingly. If they aren't chipping you down and they're doing stuff like, I'll pitch this red to Crucible and that's my entire turn after I block 9.
Yeah.
At that point,
yeah, you know what you're
stacking you.
Yeah, you know what you're getting into. So I guess so.
Which, like, for Giga Stack, if they get to stack, they will kill you.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah. So they're definitely
100 plus through double Oasis.
There definitely is counterplay, and this is not a combo deck that is going out of control and is going to slowly take over the game, and all the pro players are going to move to it because it just is an inevitable deck. I'll be honest, I had a nightmare about that last night, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, where Kano became the only deck in the format at a higher tier event, and combo decks do that sometimes in games, and there's like a single answer to it, and it's just the combo deck and the answer. And Kano's really strong, so
he is.
Yeah.
So I don't think So I'll put it this way. I don't think Kano is the best deck in the game. And I say that because I think the reason that he won the calling is because that KO player played improperly.
And we've talked about that ourselves before.
Yes.
But
I think that KO player made mistakes.
Yeah, but I mean, so much to test for. But now I feel like Kano is such a big problem that it is something you need to test for.
If you're not testing against Kano, you don't. I don't know. You don't have Talishar. Like,
all right. So I'm gonna wrap that up.
I understand if you don't have a local Kano to test against, but like,
you can find people.
You can find them, man.
They're everywhere. Be polite enough to them. Kano sucks now, but also the most inherently broken thing you can do. Yeah, this is what I meant when I brought up the conversation. Is I'm just like.
So like, but what is that?
Is Kano winning everything, or is Kano winning everything or not? I do like the way he's worded it, right? So it can be the most broken thing you're doing and still suck, right? So like in a sense, in let me say it this way, where it's like Zen can present 400 damage. He's not going to, because you're going to learn how to block against him.
Yeah. Like, sure, it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Like we saw, there was the incident at US Nats last year at the PTI event where an Icelander died on turn 0
to
against a Katsu.
Cat Katsu.
Because
Tiger Katsu, yeah.
They blocked with 3 cards on Crouching Tigers, and they blocked down so that there was only a Heart of Fjendal left in their hand. And then Tiger Swipe comes in for 4, and they block with 4 equipment because that's all they have. And Breaking Scales puts it over, and then Pouncing Lynx plus Katsu gets the other 2 Tiger Swipes, and they die.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. And I guess that's kind of like the way he's worded it.
Like, that's not... It's not broken then. If there are ways to play around it, it's not broken.
It's very, very powerful.
It has a lot of potential. It is very dangerous if you disrespect it.
Yeah.
But the instant you respect it, it's really not. It's not as scary as people think it is, as it looks, as some of the results make it look.
Yeah.
And I'm going to compare it to another deck that has since disappeared from the public's ire. Prism.
True.
Look at that.
Enigma came out. I forgot about her completely.
Hey, what do you know? People started respecting the deck, and the win rate drops off a cliff.
Yeah.
Wild. What did we say needed to happen? Oh, people respect the deck and learn how to play against it.
They did it.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's not gone, but like my last PQ I played with Prism, I played against a Kasai who said, "I'm gonna race you to your setup. I'm gonna not run skippers. I'm gonna run dynamos. I don't want to mess with it. I'm just gonna hit you." And I'm like, "Bet, let's go." I looped him when I had like 10 health left.
Yeah.
And then I played a Dory who had time skippers, and that match was a freaking grind. It was an hour-and-a-half game.
Holy
and at no point did I feel like this was... Did I feel like I just, like... I sat down and, like, it is a different game.
Yeah.
Because they respected it. And I talked to the Kasai player afterwards. I was like, so, okay, why no time skippers? It's very easy. Like, you pitch the blue, and then you just swing 2 sabers. And he's like, because I think it doesn't fix enough. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. As the Prism player, you are wrong.
It's like, it definitely helps, or at the least it gives you a game plan.
Like when I sit down for that game, I am 1,000 times less stressed than when I sit down across from the Dory with skippers. Like when I played Kano at the Super Armory in Richmond because that was all I got to play in Richmond, and I sat down across from a Dory with AB3, which was a pain, but he was pitching his blues. He was pitching to AB wrong. He was pitching to AB entirely on my turn and then go to only reds in his hand. And I'm like, I'll kill you now because you don't have AB actually.
Yep.
And then I play against a Riptide, and it's like, you don't have the resources for AB. I'll go. And then I sit down for round 4, and it's a Katsu who only has Arcane Lantern. I'm like, so you don't have a Kadachi to threaten Mask of Momentum, and you don't have any AB to prevent any. It is open season.
Yep.
Let's go. I killed him without finding Wildfire.
Well, okay, so that said, is learning to fight against Kano just much harder than learning to fight against Prism? If it's just like this one weird trick and everyone forgets about Prism, where it's like Kano, Kano's been around forever. These combos are on every YouTube channel that wants to talk about a deck tech, and it's like, frick, people still are playing against the matchup wrong.
Yeah.
Is Kano just inherently harder to play against?
I don't think so. Like, I think it's just Kano. Okay. Kano is not harder to play against. I don't know if it's that Kano is harder to play against or if not enough people know how to play against Kano where they can teach you how to play against Kano.
Yeah.
And I say this because I remember an interesting conversation. I believe it was Sunday in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And there is Nathaniel Snyder, who is a very good Kano player, top 8 that Sunday event. Majin Bey and Mara and I are sitting in between rounds. And I remember like one of the questions that was asked is like, who do people make more mistakes against, Dromai or Kano?
Yeah.
And I think Mara was the only one who said Dromai.
Was she biased?
Because everyone plays against Dromai a ton. And it is some bias for her because she sees all the mistakes that people make against Dromai. But I know
she's also noticing like mistakes that nobody knows about, right?
That no other Dromai player spots as a mistake. She is spotting. But like both the Kano players and I say Kano because people don't know that they're mistakes. People have so much less experience against Kano. And Mara like specifically asked, like, what are some mistakes that you see people make that they don't realize are mistakes? And it's stuff like, you don't respect Aether Flare, you don't AB3 it, you let them opt 5 off Spindle. And like, it's stuff like that where it's like, as soon as you think about it, you're like, oh yeah. Yeah.
Or you play the deck once
like,
and you feel it. That's, I think, the main thing is there's a lot of people, especially casual players, they own one deck, they don't get to play against it, they don't want to play as it on Talishar because they're already pissed off about it. There was the case with Oldhim. People were like, well, I don't want to play as Oldhim on Talishar. That's really boring. And it's like, okay, well, if you don't play as him, then maybe you don't know his patterns, you don't know how to play against him. And in the same respect. Yeah.
If you're complaining about a deck being too good and you can't beat it, and you have not played as the deck, you're not doing enough. You don't have a right to complain.
Except on here. You're allowed to complain on here where we get to
and then we will put you in your place.
All right. Okay. Lastly, real quick, because I want to wrap up, Tokyo starting like right now. How do I concede? Real quick.
Okay. That rule is okay. If what you're actually asking is, how do I concede once we've redistributed prizes, where first gets the invite, second gets the gold foil?
Yeah. Okay. So okay, we're at PQ. It's the finals. We agreed on prizes being redistributed.
I want the invite to go to PT6, and you want the gold foil.
Yeah.
And we're both cool with that.
Yeah.
We have an understanding.
How do you concede?
Nobody was pressured into it.
When can you and can't you concede?
So once the judge understands that prizes have been redistributed, you cannot say concede.
You can't say the word concede.
You cannot verbally say I concede.
When can we choose to redistribute the prizes? That's only
I assume before the game starts.
Before the game starts, and you'd have to, because I've definitely seen situations where people were like about to start talking about maybe suggesting not the correct way to separate prizes. Like they were going to do like first place gets one prize, second place gets a different prize, and then they were going to compete for whichever prize. And the judge was like, no, you can't do that. And you can't even tell them that. You want to talk to me about your idea over here, and then I'll tell you if you could say it or not.
Yes, because so that comes down to they have to make sure that there is no pressure for asking for a concession.
Okay.
Or like there's no bribery, there's no coercion like that, anything like that. You were able to ask for a concession. I actually need to double check if they changed that. Because I know that I've asked for concessions before, and I've had people ask me for concessions, and it's entirely up to you whether or not you say yes to those things. I've always made it emphatically clear when I asked that there is no pressure. I will happily play out the game as is. But like, I remember at the PQ last season at Blade, I go into quarterfinals, and it's a guy I know who isn't going to be going to the PT. I'm like, hey, I am looking to go to the PT. I would love to be qualified. I will absolutely play out this game. It's the quarterfinals. I will absolutely play it out. I know there's a jump in pricing. I understand if you want to play it out, but I would like to go. And this is my last shot in an invite.
Are you allowed to say that?
No. I don't think I said my last shot in invite, but like I also like tried to make it abundantly clear, like
See?
If you want to play the game out, do it. No, I know. Like I tried to make it so it's like there is no pressure that you have to do this.
Here's what I want to ask of the judge.
My understanding is you are not the PT, and I would like.
This is my call to the people at the Judge Hub, the people in the judge community. Do you know how in literally the comprehensive rules, it gives you examples on how cards work, right? So
yes.
It's like in
yes.
this very specific scenario, this is what you would do if,
yep.
Like it would explain Murkmire grapnel blowing up all the auras instead of just one, and they would write out as an example in italics in a box separate, and it says, they attack with Murkmire, they no blocks, it hits the auras, whatever, they explain all that. I want to see that for how to concede and how to ask for pricing or splitting pricing and stuff like that, because I have no idea. Literally the next PQ like event that I'm going to go to, if I hit top 8, I'm going to pull a judge aside and say, how do I talk? What am I supposed to do?
So the issue with the rule that they put in place is you can just redistribute the prizes. Mm-hmm. And instead of saying, would you like to play a game? No, I concede. It's, we'll play the game, and the person will say, draw up 4 cards. You'll hit them on turn 1, and they'll say no blocks.
That's the same thing.
And they'll take it.
It's the same thing with more steps. Arsenal. Isn't that just the same thing with more steps?
Yes, it is. That's the problem, is that this is a thing that is legal in the rules. And it is exactly the same thing, except it wastes time. And it makes things potentially less clear.
I think because...
rather than just saying, I concede. This is it.
Yeah, you absolutely cannot, in any circumstances, police quality of play.
Yes. Which they literally said in Judge Hub.
Yeah. And they agree with that. But it's because of that it's like, why does this matter? Also, just
that's what makes this just like pointless.
There's so many like casual people that will like show up to these PQ events, and they'll be like, it's as
I gotta
people
go
have said online. Yeah, they get
my babysitter's leaving in 15 minutes. I gotta go.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my ride's here to pick me up. Yeah, like there's like weird.
I'm the only one left.
And as people have brought up, where it's like the more enfranchised players, the more professional, competitive-minded players who read over this stuff like it's their religion are just like, they get the edge and understand how to handle these situations better, because they read all this stuff, and it's like, it's just
yes, like it's not even that they understand them better.
Yeah,
it's that like they understand them enough that they're not going to step in a trap.
Yeah. Well, okay, so number one, how not to step in a trap, and this is what I'm gonna do if I'm in that situation, because I am not a competitive-minded professional player, is I'm gonna pull a judge aside before I ask anything related to it at all, because you can always pull a judge aside and be like, hey, this is what I want to ask, can I ask it? Even if it's something you can't ask, they'll be like, no, you can't ask that, and you'll be like, okay, got it, right? They're not gonna disqualify you for talking to them and asking them questions. But it's got to be out of earshot of your opponent or whoever you're playing against.
Like the PQ I made the finals of this season, while the other guy was still playing his semis, I was like, hey, I want to offer a prize split. I said prize split because I didn't say redistribution. But like it was implied that this is what it was, where it's like, I want to offer, first gets the invite, second gets the gold foil. The store credit stays the same because we both get the same, which was something they did actually before we even talked about prizing. So like that was what that was and the way it worked. And I'm like, and they're like, yep, that sounds good. And I'm like, cool. I'm not like, I'm pretty sure like whoever I'm going to play wants the invite. So like, I'm not going to worry about that. And then we'll just play it out. And then the judge went to who my opponent was, and he was like, hey, they want to talk about prize redistribution. And they're like, cool. And the judge was sitting there, and I was like, I want to suggest first gets the invite, second gets the gold foil, play the game, go.
Yeah.
And they're like, yep, sounds good to me. And I'm like, cool. I don't want to go 7-1 and get freaking nothing.
Yes. Okay. Which also leads me to my next question, which is, can I ask that it's all or nothing? Can I ask in finals that one person wins everything and then second place gets nothing?
All the store credit, all the gold foil and the invite?
Yeah. Can you make that concession? Like, if your opponent agrees to it, can you make that statement?
Yeah. If both you and your opponent agree to that redistribution,
that will be my response from now and forever.
That's what you want, is the prize distribution?
I want it at every event. I want, you know, when it says this is a $50,000, $100,000 Worlds event, I want someone actually walking away with a $100,000 check. Winner take all.
I mean, Worlds, they do.
Hype. Oh my gosh. Frick.
No.
I love that.
I would hate that so much.
Just as
Imagine if Mara literally got nothing for getting second in Baltimore.
Oh, don't tell her I said that.
Yeah.
Just as James White intended. All right. We're going to wrap this up. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
Do you have any shout outs?
Was there a video you put out recently? No,
but there is going to be a video probably coming out this weekend, because I'm going to work till my fingers bleed. I went to work yesterday and then I came home and edited for 6 hours. Do you have any shout outs? Anything you're doing? That's it?
I think that's it. I'm kind of chilling until Nats. So
webcam UPF on Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Go watch Tokyo.
Yeah, go watch Tokyo.